What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with 13 weeks old physique update from the Persian wolf Hadichoopan. So Hadi does believe in the percentage and he defines his physique accordingly. And this can look for him. That is about 40% of his full potential. Now Hadi doesn't seem to look overly big and massive compared to some of his previous off-season looks, and his former coach Hani Rambod, who worked with him for several years, and many people out there speculate that he might still be helping him. He always said that there is only a certain amount of muscle that Hadichoopan can pack on his frame before he starts to look blockier and his waistline blows out, or his proportions kind of gets ruined. Now, so far, Hadi's physique hasn't shown us any signs that he's getting blocky over the years. In fact, his physique in the last two competitions that looked the most aesthetic and more streamlined than ever before, with a super vacuum, both at the Arnold Ohio as well as at the Olympia last year. Now, his conditioning looks absolutely bonkers for 13 weeks out, but that is not even a bit surprising, considering we are talking about Hadichoopan. He has always looked very lean, even during the off-season, let alone in the prep phase. So that most muscular shot is definitely among the best we have ever seen in the entire men's open bodybuilding history. And without any shadow of a doubt, it is the best most muscular shot in the current bodybuilding ranks. And the reason for that is, no one has the depth and the detail that Hadichoopan brings, especially in the chest and the shoulders area. Now, it will be such a treat for us bodybuilding fans if Hadi shows up even better than his 2019 Van Pro version, as well as his Arnold High version from last year, because those two are the best looks of his entire pro career. So let me know what you guys think. Can Hadichoopan win the Olympia title? So the Mutant Nick Walker and his training style that has changed a lot in the last few years. For a guy who could lift an entire stack and press 170s for reps, it's something weird to see him train with this low tempo and not lifting the full stack in that leg extension workout. But it's also proving a point here that it is possible to grow and get bigger while using less weights, but using the perfect form. And we have seen it time and time again that the man has got that textbook execution in terms of all of his lifts. So if we are being totally honest here, that type of freaky mass monster Nick Walker is, and the way he has put on so much muscle over the years, he is probably gonna grow no matter what, no matter how he trains. But this most recent transformation, that is a proof that his split right now, as well as his training style, that is the most efficient one for him. So did you guys also notice that there was no talk about Nick's quad sweep and his quads from the front not being big enough at this past Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro? And that is such a big achievement for him. He somehow brought up his legs, and there is a guarantee that his midsection this time at the Olympia 2, that is gonna be a lot tighter than what we saw at the Pittsburgh Pro. Because the man isn't gonna make the same mistake twice, as that was one of the major reasons why he lost to Derek Lunsford. So the kind of size that Nick Walker is carrying right now in this most recent update, that gives the feel that Nick Walker is going to dwarf some people at this upcoming Mr. Olympia in October. Incredible size and muscularity, while at the same time being so damn lean. So had the judges given him the win over Derek at the Pittsburgh Pro, no one would have any kind of complaint. But that loss, that was like a blessing in disguise for the Mutant, as he used all that anger as a fuel for this upcoming Mr. Olympia to show up at his all-time best. Next up, we have an update from 6 times Classic Physique Olympia champion, Bumstead. So it has been a long recovery process for him so far, especially after going through that shoulder surgery and then waiting for months before getting the green light to start training one more time, especially his upper body. But the man is finally in a position where he can again lift some decent amount of weights, and the muscle memory is kicking in pretty damn fast. So Bumstead first competed at the Olympia back in 2017. So this will be his first time after 9 years that he won't be prepping for Miss Olympia. But don't even think for a second that he doesn't want to chase a certain look. His ultimate goal is to be very lean, around 240 pounds, while staying very athletic and very functional. And he wants to hold on to a condition where he looks good and feels amazing playing other sports too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was Cbum's weight cap in classic physique. So Chris absolutely dominated the classic physique division for 6 years in a row, and he can be considered in the same category as the Arnold or Lee Haney. As both these legends of the game, they are the only two champions other than Chris Bumstead who chose to walk away from the sport while being on the top and while being very young. And all of these guys won their last Olympia competition, and Cbum we saw also retired on his own terms, and his record of 6 straight Olympia wins that will be very hard to beat. So Rafael Bundal finally made it to Vegas, and that means he's going to be training with his coach Neil Hill, and Neil just told him point blank that the competition at this year's Mr. Olympia that Bundal is going to face, that will be the most difficult lineup he has ever faced, and that means making sure that he is 100% on his game on every single day at this upcoming Mr. Olympia and all the way till then. So Rafael Bundal has to show up bigger and better than ever before, even if he wants to repeat that same top 8 placing that he did last year. Because the thing is, if he doesn't, there will be so much disappointment, not just among his fans, but for Rafael Bundal himself too. And also the judges won't consider him for a top 6 finish if he doesn't close that size gap. So the shape and the flow that he has, that has carried him all the way to the top 8 in the world. But if we just take a look at the physiques ahead of him, a guy like Andrew Jack, he has just as pretty physique as Rafael Bundal, but at the same time he's way bigger and way denser. And also Andrew Jack has a lot more stage presence. And secondly, Rafael Bundal, he hasn't been the most consistent guy when it comes to peaking for all of these shows. And when he finally got truly peaked for Romania Pro last year, he just lost so much size in doing that. And Olympia is all about size in the men's open. So building a bigger back and a bigger chest, that was the main point of focus for this offseason.
This is the hardest year it's ever been, man. You've seen the standard. The standard this year is horribly crazy, man. I said it last year, but it's not this. This year's even worse. Yeah. The standard is right up there, man.
Yeah, everybody's looking good.
Everyone's looking amazing.
So Kevin Levrone, a true legend from the 90s, and one of the guy who will also go down in the bodybuilding history as the uncrowned Mr. Olympia. He shares a physique update as he turns 61, and that is such an inspirational physique considering his age. So he has been very consistent in terms of doing cardio, eating clean, and as per Kevin, his health is in perfect condition. Now obviously the training style that changed over the years, as some of the 90s bodybuilding fans, they will remember Kevin Levrone. He was always a barbell guy. He used to bench 500 pounds weeks out of the competition, and the man has always been known for his insane lifts, for his crazy impressive strength. And the craziest one was him doing behind the neck press with 4 plates on each side. Now you can make an argument that Kevin Levrone had the best hand clasp, most muscular shot in that entire bodybuilding history. And as great as he was, he just was unlucky that he had to face 2 of the most dominant Olympia champions, Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman. And those are some of the best we have ever seen in the sport. Now we only want to remember Kevin from back in the 90s and early 2000s and his physiques from back then, because the comeback that he made back in 2016, the fans have a different perspective on whether he gained something from that comeback or tarnished his reputation. Nevertheless, great to see him looking so young and active at 61. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.